everybody. Welcome back to the CODI cast. So today I'm really excited because I'm joined by two of our long-standing team members, Jenai and Mila. Woo! Welcome to the show. Where's that applause? Uh-oh.
Just silence.
Oh. There's like a fake applause. Woo!
Thank you.
So what? Oh, yes. Woohoo. Love that.
Audience,
Love that. Love that for us. So I'm actually excited to have both of you on the show today because we obviously work in digital marketing, and a massive part of the digital marketing audience that we're always targeting are millennials and Gen Zs. So we're going to be talking all about how to actually appeal to them, how to understand them, and really delve a little bit deeper into that topic, which I'm excited by, but it's going to really expose how uncool I am. So I'm officially the uncoolest member of CODI, which is quite sad. So for those who don't know, we've got millennials who are aged between, do you guys know the breakdown?
Yeah, so millennials start from 1980.
Yeah, 1980 to, I think, 1996.
Yep.
Right.
And then Gen Z is 1996 to, when does Alpha start?
Yeah, the generation Alpha. I'm not sure when they start.
97. I've got 97 to 2012 for Gen Z.
Okay.
That's kind of like everyone under 25. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you've got like the Zillennial little
Zillennials.
group.
Oh God, I'm going to learn a lot today.
Little hybrids.
Yeah, little hybrids. Yes.
And then I just found out that the Gen Zs are called Zoomers as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's
What's the
exciting.
slang?
Yeah, so I'm like a barely scraping into millennial, which is quite sad. And then, so you guys are like full millennials.
So.
Oh, are you?
No, that's offensively. So I'm Gen Z.
How dare you?
I'm leaving.
Janae is a millennial.
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Millennial.
I'm a, Chug. Yeah.
Technically. You'll learn about Chuggies as well.
Yes.
Chookies, okay, God.
Yeah.
Something new.
I can't, I'm just, my mind's going to be blown today, so.
Mila's a millennial. Are you?
I
do you
am.
identify
Yeah,
as a
I'm like right
millennial?
on the cusp.
I don't
So
want to speak for you.
On the cusp?
yeah. So I'm gonna round down.
Round down.
I feel like it's
I'm
also a
millennial.
mindset. I feel like you have a Gen Z vibe, you know?
I do.
Yeah.
A Gen Z vibe.
Yeah. Because I think that the age is just it can be quite limiting because I think, it depends on.
I mean, it's so broad as well. Like, millennials are turning 40 now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so people always think millennials and they think, young and hip, but not always the case.
There are some old millennials like myself, unfortunately. So Mila and Jenai actually work in our production side. So you'll find them on photo shoots, putting together killer feeds, writing blog content, writing content for social. So they are some of our resident gurus in that digital content creation space. So I'm very, very lucky to work alongside them, and your work's honestly, both of you, just incredible. Continuously blow my mind every day. So yeah, I'm super excited to have a chat to you both and really understand what on earth is going on in the digital space for millennials and Gen Z. So I'm actually going to just quickly jump into that topic because for me it sounds, I find it quite weird to think there's a whole generation that doesn't even know what it's like without mobile phones.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. It's such a defining, feature of our generation. Because, I barely remember life without a phone. So I imagine you don't remember at all.
I think I got my first phone in like grade 3 or grade 4.
Grade 3?
Yeah.
What is it?
Which is like grade. I don't know. I just remember I remember the time when everyone had a phone, and it was just like, you got to get a phone.
Grade 3? Can you even write in grade 3?
Yeah. So I don't even know what I used it for.
Was
but
Instagram out?
No, Instagram came out in like year 9 for me, I think.
So it was like smartphone? Because I remember my first phone was like one of those like pink Motorola.
Like you guys were cool.
App. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Like a razor?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
They're
razor.
coming back though.
Razors?
Yeah,
Oh.
I heard that they're like bringing out.
They're
like
so cool. I remember when I first got a razor, you flick it open and you'd be like, I'm so important right now. Hello.
Did anyone have a web slider?
No.
It was like it was like touch screen, but you turn it on the side and you flip it up, and the whole keyboard came out.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of like that video clip where she's like typing in Excel. Has anyone seen that? It was the Nelly. Was it a Nelly song?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dilemma. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also find it quite interesting that Gen Z are kind of obsessed with like early millennial culture. Like, have you seen like those TikToks where they're really romanticizing like 2005 in high school, and they have all like these photos of people from 2005 in high school? So it's really interesting seeing how it's all flipping back, and that generation that, you know, the dagginess is kind of coming back into style.
Oh God, don't say that.
Yeah, so flip phones.
I wouldn't want to think about the stuff that I wore back then.
I know.
Yeah, well, it's like Y2K.
Yeah.
It's like
it's back.
the
It's
thing
trend.
now.
Yeah.
No.
Low-rise jeans are coming back.
No.
I know.
Yeah.
I do not want
I left
that.
them in my past.
Paris Hilton's like whole look is
That's
is
cool now.
back.
Oh no,
Yeah.
not the skirt over pants and the flit.
Oh God. I hope not that far.
No.
But
Okay, I'm
yeah,
scared. I'm
I know.
scared. Okay, so that's interesting talking about like the different generations coming back, because I know that both of you are quite active on social.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, so you're obviously looking at a lot of content, so you're seeing things like that. So I'll start with you, Jenai. So can you just tell me a little bit about what platforms you like and why?
So I love TikTok a lot. It's so addictive. I think I use TikTok more than any other app. I used to love YouTube, and I think that's a big thing that I've noticed, is that my attention span's really gone downhill since I downloaded TikTok. So now if I want a tutorial or anything, I used to go to YouTube, but now it's all TikTok.
Yeah.
I also like Instagram. I still use Instagram, and I'll use Facebook just for groups, but yeah, I think TikTok's the big one for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, for me, I think Instagram's good when you're doing well. It's like, I find if I have something to talk about on Instagram, I don't know, it's so weird. I'm not really on it as much as TikTok and Pinterest. Pinterest is like my little sneaky like obsession, and I think why I love it so much is because it's the best of Instagram. Like Instagram I use mainly for inspiration, so I find it's like the best of Instagram without people,
all the crap,
without the crowd, and without
No, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Pinterest is kind of that, like it's massive in the States, but it's not as big here for some reason. But for creatives, it's perfect because you're right, you're not sorting through just rubbish, which is there's unfortunately a lot of it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Instagram algorithm is quite as good as TikTok.
No,
like,
see, with TikTok is just that you don't have to be famous or you don't have to be an influencer to go viral. And I think that's so exciting about it, and so different from YouTube and everything, where it takes a while to build up your audience, but you can go overnight on TikTok and just be, you know.
Yeah, people have made like whole businesses overnight. And
Cancelled overnight,
made overnight.
It's so quick now. Yeah.
It's actually interesting because with the other social platforms, I feel like the content that you consume, it's generally guided by who you follow. Whereas I always just go to the For You page on TikTok. And so you're just looking at pretty much no one that you follow in that sense. It's like just all new stuff. And it's so different to say like an Instagram where your feed or your, I guess that equivalent to For You page is really just who you follow.
Yeah, because Instagram is all about like your relationship score. So it's just showing you things that it thinks you most likely want to see.
TikTok I find interesting because, it'll be, you'll go on your For You page and there's like, you're scrolling and it's just the same. Everyone's kind of getting the same stuff, like a lot of Sebastian Stan. It's on my For You page all the time. But then, there'll be a new trend and that's on your For You page for days. And then all of a sudden, that's not cool anymore. And if you're doing that trend, like, it's over. Like, don't do it. Like, if you're a brand and you're doing an old trend, like, sorry, you're cancelled. You're chuggy, you're cancelled.
Chuggy, so, okay, I have to interrupt. What's chuggy?
Okay, so chuggy it's only something I recently learned.
It's something that
it's essentially
Gen Z
everything
came up with.
Yeah. Essentially everything that was cool in like 2014 to 2016 is now chuggy.
So for example,
Friends is chuggy.
Friends
now.
is chuggy.
Yeah.
Is it a positive?
No.
No.
You don't want to be chuggy.
No, you don't.
I'm like, do I want to be chuggy?
No,
okay,
you don't. Lisa.
So
BuzzFeed.
Oh yeah, BuzzFeed's
very
chuggy.
So it's like old, done.
Yeah,
it's kind of,
it's like it's that interesting because I feel like how we're saying millennial culture is coming back, the Y2K, but that 2014, 2016 version of millennials very, very not okay.
Not cool.
Yeah.
So like in using in a sentence to say if this was Urban Dictionary, you could go something like Nick Bell is chuggy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
Look
great.
up chuggy and there's a photo.
Yeah, there's a photo of Nick Bell.
Yeah.
From the AFR from 2015 when he looked about 1,000 years old.
What I've gathered from chuggy is that it's very much vibe based because some things that are chuggy I can't pinpoint why, but they're chuggy. Like lasagna is apparently chuggy now.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Lasagna's like always cool.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought. So yeah, chuggy, it's a vibe.
Okay.
You'll get a chug sense and you'll be able to suss
Okay,
out
oh, that's
what's chuggy.
so chuggy.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
great.
that's
I love
chuggy.
that. I
Yeah.
love
We
that.
have some chugginess in the office.
I'm so scared. I'm pretty sure it's me.
No, you're not
No,
chuggy,
no,
Rosa.
it's something I just saw yesterday. It's a little. This is probably like. Once I explain this example, you'll know what chugginess is.
Yeah, you'll know what chuggy means.
So at the sink, we have like a little picture, and it says every time you don't wash your dishes, a kitten dies. So that's chuggy.
Chuggy.
That is so chuggy.
Memes are like old school kind of memes are very chuggy
Oh,
because
God.
meme culture's so fast now, so you can't print out a
true.
meme because tomorrow it might not be. It will be chuggy.
Yeah, we're chuggy.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
probably talking about chuggy so much we're making it chuggy.
Oh, we probably are.
Gen Z are
Chuggy
like,
is
oh
now
my god,
chuggy.
chuggy
Yeah,
is so
yeah,
chuggy.
enough about the
Stop.
chuggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. Sorry, I completely derailed the conversation talking about
No.
chuggy. I'm probably going to keep doing that so I can just get some cool lingo in.
Yeah.
So, Mila, you mentioned that you go on Instagram for content inspo. Or creative inspo. So when you're, say, working for a client, how do you actually pick inspirational images or I guess things that are going to inspire creative direction for them?
I think for me, like I've started just realizing when something stops my scroll. And then I kind of just think, oh, why did that stop me? And what was interesting about that? And then taking that and, you know, translating it to your clients, I think has been something that I've really been utilizing Instagram for. And then just, you know, similar brands and what they're doing, it's always good to know. And yeah.
Do you like to look outside of the industry that you're in? So say if you're doing something for a beauty client,
Yeah, for
would you
sure.
look at, say, what fashion are doing or like another industry to get inspo?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of things you can kind of just tweak to suit you. And at the end of the day, it's all about what's going to stop the scroll.
Yeah, and that's something that we definitely have to do when we're content creators. Like you can't just look at your social and consumer as if you're a consumer. You've got to look at it through a different lens. So do you actually find it hard to switch off? Because you can't just almost just go, okay, now I'm going to turn my work brain off and I can just like scroll aimlessly looking at crap.
Yeah, and I think the hardest thing is kind of like not kind of seeing it from your perspective, but seeing it from someone else's perspective. So something that I think is really cool probably wouldn't work like most of the time. So yeah, that is really hard, kind of like taking yourself out of your own preferences and your own interests. And
Yeah, and look, I think that sort of flows nicely into the work that Jenai does, because you write for so many different people and for brands. Like, how do you even get in the head of somebody and try and write as if you're, you know, completely different person?
It's hard. I think just kind of, for me, I like to just really understand what their mission is, what they're trying to achieve from writing. That makes it a lot easier. And also just nailing the humour, making sure it's all different, it's all on brand. But yeah, it's challenging. But it's just all about, I think, just understanding what the aim is of the writing, and then,
Yeah, it's like you've got a split personality in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple different perspectives.
But I love reading a lot about what other brands are doing to kind of be like, oh, that's funny. Like, why did that make me laugh? Or like, why is that pacing really good? Because I think humour's a big thing, where humour's changing a lot as well between generations. And I feel like, so yeah, if you see something that makes you laugh, it's really good to be like, oh, why did that make me laugh? Like, why is that funny? Because it's always changing.
Yeah, and I think even like understanding that audience is so important. So I guess the main topic of today is to talk about Gen Z and then talk about Millennials, because they're both obviously very digitally native. So I know that I didn't grow up with the mobile phone. I barely grew up with the internet. I'm that old. But, you know, I think my sense of humour or what I look at will be quite different to Gen Z. So how do you work out what's going to appeal to either market?
Yeah, I think the humour thing is massive, because I feel like, so take BuzzFeed, for example. BuzzFeed was, I think, peak millennial culture. Yeah. And the thing is, they did so well on YouTube. They did amazing. And then they've tried to do it on TikTok and they've just like flopped. And I think that's a big show of how different humans are and what different audiences want.
it's hard because they change, it changes all the time.
It's so quick.
So it's, so you kind of just have to be on the pulse, like, you know, what's...
Consuming a lot of content is good. And I think especially TikTok, because even Vine was, like, that was probably when I was younger, Vine was really big, and Vine was quick, but it's nowhere near as quick as TikTok.
Wow.
And I think the defining humour is like, yeah, Vine was very millennial humour and TikTok is very Gen Z, and I just noticed how quicker Gen Z is. They're so fast with their humour, and they'll jump in something and they will make it hilarious, but then all of a sudden it's not funny anymore. And I'm like, where does that stop? Like, when does it stop being funny?
And it's the same with like on the other end of like cancel culture.
Yes.
And like someone that
turn.
like can lose, you know, 1 million followers overnight.
Like like people that I grew up with, like Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, they just get cancelled.
They're all gone now.
Yeah, they get cancelled so quick. So it's just like you have to stay up to date, because if you reference something that is cancelled now or is not cool now, it's bad, very bad.
Yeah. And that's where brands go wrong. It's like they have this whole approval process, and by the time it gets approved, it's dead.
Yeah, it's not funny
you're being
anymore.
made fun of.
And then you're going to become viral for all the wrong reasons. And that happens a lot on TikTok. Brands will go viral for the wrong reasons. And it's just obvious that, there's some poor person trying their best and they know they have to go through all the steps to get it approved. And by the time it's live, it's just not, it's just not it. It's just not it.
But some people are doing it really well. Like, there's Ryanair. Aldi did something recently.
Yeah. Did you see that Aldi?
No, I haven't seen the Aldi thing.
That was so funny.
So Aldi's like known for having kind of knockoff products and rip-off products. So recently they ripped off Colin the Caterpillar from Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
In the UK, and Marks and Spencer's sued them, or they tried to sue them, and Aldi kind of took it online and made it really
so funny,
entertaining.
They just like made fun of themselves. They were just like they were just tweeting pictures like free the caterpillar.
Free the caterpillar.
Just
or like
yeah.
Marks and Spencer's lawyers, show us the evidence, ask what evidence, and it's like a picture of someone with like cake around their face.
And the funny thing was about that was that that was mainly on Twitter, and then Gen Z took it to TikTok by like screenshotting all of it, and then all of a sudden they went viral on TikTok as well without even being on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's interesting because Gen Z's traditionally thought of as the main platform, the main market for TikTok, and it's funny because I remember when we were talking to TikTok, they said that it's not like TikTok tried to go after Gen Z. It's like Gen Z picked TikTok, which I thought was like a really interesting way of looking at it. And I think it goes back to what you were talking about, that reduced concentration span and just the quickness of it. Because I just I think about my TikTok browsing habits. I'm just like, yep, next. You just keep, it's just like you could be there for bloody a decade just scrolling next. And it's like, it is really different to when I grew up, and, like it's more that longer form content that you're watching, and now it's really like to even think that some videos go for 60 seconds, that's a really long time. And sometimes I'm like, can I fast forward this? I just want to see the end, that when you're going to clearly do some sort of transformation.
That's the thing. I honestly find myself getting like frustrated if the intro is too long and a 60-second video. I'm like, come on, get to the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll skip sometimes. I can't even wait. Till the end.
Yeah.
And then I get frustrated. Yeah. But what's really interesting is TikTok's actually trialing longer videos with some of their creators.
Really?
So some I've seen are like 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
Some up to 3. So it's interesting to see where that will go as well.
I think it's all about just grabbing the audience's attention straight away. Like you have to be super quick. Like there can't be a build up.
Literally the first
without
second.
Any payoff. Yeah.
The first second. Okay. So if you're, say, a brand or a creator trying to use it, then you just need to be right on to be interesting from like the very first second.
Yes. And I also think low budget kind of energy on TikTok works really well. Like some of the brands are doing really well, like Ryanair.
Ryanair.
It's just, a photo and they put like the lips on the plane, or they just use like memes, and I think if you try too hard on TikTok, it's gonna be so obvious, and you're again gonna get not the reaction you want. Yeah. So it's that weird balance.
And when you're trying too hard, you're kind of it's really obvious that you're doing this just so that you can get that market, just so that you can make, get those likes and make those sales. So it's like people aren't interested in that. They want to be...
Gen Z are like immune to traditional advertising. They really are. They can see through it. They can see through it better than I think, millennials ever could. And they're very smart. So those things to really take
super smart.
Into account. Oh, so smart.
And also they're focused on values. Yes. So from what we know, then I mean, I can say this because I'm a millennial. I feel like the millennial generation was pretty superficial.
Oh, 100%.
Really were. Yeah, but Gen Z are like, what are you doing about climate change? What's your policy on animal testing? Like they actually give a crap about what the company that they're buying from is doing. So I think if you're a brand trying to appeal to them, you need to be communicating those things, and just not enough brands are doing that. And that's something that we really focus on at CODI. It's like if something isn't adding value, like a piece of content, then we shouldn't be posting it, because people, like you said, there's so much noise. People are immune to traditional advertising. We just don't want to be adding to the noise. Like we want to be actually educating and doing it in either like an interesting or funny, like a, you know, entertaining way.
Definitely.
So that education or the edutainment categories, I think, massive.
Yeah, and like how you said, you know, it's not like brand loyalty has kind of shifted from, you know, I love this product and I've used this product for, you know, 2 years, to what's the meaning behind the product, you know, what goes into the product.
Like Glossier.
And people are more, Glossier is a really good example. So they actually do really well on TikTok. So they keep up with the trends and they're very kind of like on top of that. But we're in a bit of a...
Yeah, they got cancelled for... some staff came out saying that there was like racist undertones with in the stores. But the funny thing is that you'll look at their TikTok and the videos are great. They're amazing. And still
they're doing everything right, but the comments are split evenly.
Yes.
So it'll be like, when are you going to take accountability, Glossier? And then another comment will be like, I love this account so much. It's so funny. So it's
almost like it does... Yeah, it's really hard for them to kind of move on from those kind of...
Because people won't forget, like especially Gen Z, they won't... They'll bring up a tweet that you wrote in 2015 and they won't forgive you for it.
Like celebrities, if there's a new movie of theirs coming out, they'll go through your Twitter. They'll find something stupid you said and then
Well, even I saw they newly announced the editor of Teen Vogue in the States, and then she had written all these inappropriate comments like years and years ago, and then they ended up sacking her because everyone was like standing up saying, I don't want to work for someone like this. So be careful what you post.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for sure. Like even Kat Von D, she had a few...
she had to step down from her company.
She had to step down, because... So...
And then to save the company, she just...
To save the company, and so people boycotted Kat Von D, and as soon as she kind of left and someone took over, it was okay to buy Kat Von D again.
Wow. But the power of the people is crazy.
Especially with social media.
Absolutely crazy.
How many times I've gone on Twitter and it's like insert names is over party is trending. Like they just do one little thing wrong
is over
and they're over.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there are times where people forget, but with brands, I think especially you need to be really... on the ball, and even talking about political issues. If you're not involved in the conversation, then they're going to assume that you're indifferent, you don't care, and that also can get you
in a lot of trouble.
Sure. That's a big difference too, because I feel like back in the day, brands never used to really get involved in that conversation.
No.
But now it's like you have to.
Yes.
Have to have an opinion.
Yeah. But it's great. I love that Gen Z cares so much. I love that because it is. I think it's a great way forward.
Yeah.
And they want to see where they're spending their money.
And it's like changes are happening.
Yeah.
Because of it. I think recently Garnier, they took the word normal out of all of their products.
Oh, wow.
Because there's no such thing as normal hair.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because their definition of normal hair was, very Western, kind of like straight.
That's incredible. Gen Z are going to change the world for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what millennials are doing. We're just, I don't know, we're taking selfies. That's what we're doing.
Millennial culture is
it's not high value.
I think it blends. So like, there's no, I mean, we do have generations and kind of like segments like that, but it's not, once you turn this age.
No, all of a sudden you're chuggy.
You're chuggy. Jesus, I'm pretty much chuggy. Okay, so we've kind of covered off our segment Trend Watch because we were talking about some of the key things to keep in mind and what's happening in the market at the moment. So we might move on to things you've learned. So I'd love to understand a little bit more about some tips and tricks for people. So in terms of like some tips and tricks for content, Mila, I'll start with you. So what are, I guess, like your top tip for do's when it comes to creating content, and then your top don't?
I think it goes back to what you said before, and like value and coming from a different perspective. So not so much being like, hey, this is, our product and this is why you should buy from us. It's more of like show, don't tell now. And just showing them that those benefits and that like end result. And a lot of it is social proofing now. And that's really kind of taken over. So
can you give an example? So I know that, say, you work on Yamco, which is an amazing clay mask. So say, what would be something that they might not previously have done, but what's a good way to show, I guess?
I think with Yamco, a good way, like something we've been leaning more and more into is social proofing and that kind of influencer market, and leaning into the kind of new features on TikTok. So like adopting those new features. So for example, an influencer will make a reel about their clay mask routine, and that's kind of we've seen that's like a lot more engaging than us posting, hey, this is our clay mask and this is like the benefits.
Yeah,
like,
great.
No one cares. No one really cares. It's kind of like seeing the result for yourself.
Okay, perfect. And then don't?
I think a good don't is be careful of your copy and like what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like throw in Jenai.
Yeah, well, that moves nicely. Great segue into copy.
Yeah, because like you can have really good content and then
you get let down in the copy. There is some...
or vice versa.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a restaurant the other day, and I said to them, when I go to a restaurant, I'll have a look through the menu and go, ooh, this duck ragu looks delicious. I want to see what it looks like. And then I'll go onto the Instagram, and it's this restaurant in particular, they were just posting photos of the food, but it'll go something like, cheers to Friday. I'm like, what's this dish? And like, it wasn't actually telling me what it was. It was just some generic statement. So it could have been might not have been their dish to begin with.
Yeah,
so
it's not informative.
Exactly. Yeah. So on the topic of copywriting, what's your top do and don't?
I think definitely do is engaging. Yes, you need to find that balance between, depending on the brand, but humor, being inviting and engaging, but then also being informative, because I think sometimes people focus too much on one or the other, and you need to have that really good balance. I think a brand that's doing really well is Frank & Body. They do like great copy where it is there's a very clear tone. You know it's them, but they're also very informative, and they let the consumer know what the product is, what it does. So it's just that balance.
Yeah. Fantastic. And the don't?
Don't. I think not having a clear tone of voice or changing your tone of voice. I think customers or consumers, they look at a brand as if you want to look at a brand like it's kind of a person, like it's someone talking to you. And if you're always changing your tone of voice, then it's just gonna miss the mark. It's gonna get lost. I think even if down to like emojis, if you have this one emoji you always use in your copy, I think just keeping it consistent. Yeah.
Fantastic. Good ones.
That's the best way. Yeah.
Yay. Well, it's really sad because we got down to our last segment now, which is, I feel like we could just talk about Chugi and everything all day. So just to finish off, we're going to do 5 quick questions. So, and I just did this to Rosie, who I interviewed. I'm just going to throw a spanner in the works and just ask you some random questions. So first one will be, I'm going to ask each of you who your celebrity crush is. And Jenai, I know you're going to have a lot, so you're going to have to pick one.
Just one at the moment.
Just one at the moment's fine.
Okay. I think at the moment it's Sebastian Stan, because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, great show, and he's all over my For You page on TikTok. So, yep, I'll have to stick with that one for now, but it changes.
For now, great. So Sebastian Stan, if you're listening.
Yes, please slide into my DMs.
Yep, hit you up. Great. And Mila?
That's so hard. Definitely not Ben Affleck.
Do not slide into
No.
your DMs.
No.
Do not unmatch him, because he'll send you a video. I would say, oh my God, that's so hard.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he's like a standard. He's always been.
He's iconic. I feel like he's like an eternally good one.
Yeah, he's like a Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Adam Driver.
Just letting you borrow someone.
This is like the Adam Driver fan club.
We all love Adam Driver. So
Adam
slide
Driver.
into our DMs. Slide into all of our DMs, please.
Send us a video, please.
Yeah, send us a video. Yeah, I would not unmatch with
Never
Adam Driver.
unmatch Adam Driver, ever.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to, Coco's probably just like, these are not the questions, Lisa, that I prepared. So the first ad that stood out to you as a teenager and why? Jenai, you can start.
The only one I can think of is that banana boat one, because of the jingle.
What's a banana boat jingle?
Sunscreen protection. I'm not going to sing it.
You got to sing it now.
No, I cannot.
You have to sing it.
But banana boat sunscreen protection.
It's 40 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one. Oh, that's a great one.
And I think because of the jingle. Do they do
jingle.
jingles
Work
anymore?
Coco.
Are jingles a thing anymore?
I don't watch TV.
Bring jingles back.
Yeah, hashtag bring jingles back.
No, what's it? The jingle party's over. No,
Oh,
what?
yeah, jingles. Yeah, the jingles are cancelled party, but they're not. Bring them back. Don't cancel jingles.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of the Lama na banana.
Oh yeah,
na,
banana
na.
body one.
Make
Is it?
those bodies
Yeah.
sing. Make those bodies sing.
Is it banana?
I'm pretty sure that's
Yes.
a banana. That's just like
The two,
the
but two
banana
great,
company.
Great jingles.
Yeah, so great. Both
So,
about bananas.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I'm actually like trying so hard to remember, but it's just not there.
I'm trying to think of like an
What was
old jingle.
happening back then? I don't know.
Maybe not watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Ads.
Yeah.
Ah.
I feel like they're not as powerful as they used to be.
So yeah, advertising has changed so much.
Yeah.
that it's-
But it is more, the advertising has shifted more towards content. Like it looks more content-y. So you don't really
Yes.
almost know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's an ad.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So Mila, which brands are getting it right when it comes to targeting audiences in the Gen Z and millennial category? And which ones are getting it wrong?
Getting it wrong.
That's a creepy way of saying wrong.
Who is getting it wrong?
Who's getting it wrong? I think a lot of people are getting it wrong.
I think a lot of people are getting it wrong.
I feel like they're trying too hard.
Yeah, trying hard. I think as well, Morphe is getting it wrong because they've got a
for
lot of
sure.
controversial people attached to them and they haven't cut the cord.
Ooh.
So that'll be one getting it
Yeah,
wrong.
nothing to do with them.
No, because they were once a powerhouse. They were once.
Yeah, people love them, but because of their like association with James Charles
Mm.
and his
And Jeffree Star.
and Jeffree Star and their
Oh,
kind
wow.
of controversies and their kind of reluctance to let go of them.
Oh,
And even
wow.
their they did eventually let go of him and cut ties with him, but even their statement was so poor. It was like, we've decided, we've spoken to James. I don't know, I can't remember it word for word, but it wasn't anything about disassociating from that behaviour. It was just kind of, it was really transparent, like, oh, we were forced to do this, but we didn't really want to do this.
Like
Oh.
the fake YouTuber
So I
apologies.
think-
Very
yeah,
Yes.
so I
genuine.
think
Yeah.
that kind of communication is
Not good. Not
a
authentic.
no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, Gen Z can sniff
It's
that
transparent, yeah.
a
it's-
mile away.
Yeah.
So in terms of the, so Jenai, you got to tell us about your TikTok story.
Oh, I am TikTok famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so I posted a TikTok and it was so lame and it was just a stitch. So if you know what a stitch is where you take, someone will ask a question and then you'll stitch a video to it. And it was just a guy talking about sports and then I stitched a scene from Schitt's Creek with it. And then overnight, I woke up and it got like 200,000 views or something, and it just kept growing, and it's up to like 700,000 now.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and it's great because I had no followers, I had nothing. I just it was the dumbest video ever.
Have you posted since?
No,
The pressure.
I know.
The
I'm like, I don't want to be a
absolute
one-hit
pressure.
wonder, but I think I will be. I'd rather go out on a high.
Hey,
than-
look, now you can understand the pressure of why one-hit
Yeah.
wonders happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to retire on this high, So people go to my profile and it's just like one really successful video. Like, wow, she must be like really famous or something. So no, I probably won't post again. I'll just go out on that high.
I'm retiring, guys,
Yeah.
from TikTok.
But you did get a few followers, right?
Yeah, I got like 90 followers from 0 or like 1 or 2, which is pretty good. But the view count, the likes and the shares. I think the sharing is what really boosts it because people will share it and like comments and stuff like not to brag, but it did really well.
But that's actually the interesting thing because I was telling you, so I had a video which was terrible go viral on TikTok as well. And then I was like, oh, I'm probably not making use of because the algorithm's very different. It pushes the content out for months. It's not like you've got 24 hours and that's kind of, it's hit its peak. And so I was actually thinking, what do I post now? And then I got like stage fright and I just didn't post anything.
It's scary.
And then you waste all these people potentially looking at your profile. So I
Yes.
think if you get momentum with your content, try and just keep going because then
I
it
agree.
gives people a reason to follow you and hopefully, you don't just peak on one video like us. I know we're chuggy.
We're such chooks.
Yeah. And just to finish up with Mila, what do brands need to do in terms of if they're wanting to, say, appeal to a Gen Z audience, what should they be doing on social?
I think they should like remove themselves from kind of this viewpoint of, this is what we have to do to get this market, to get this and get that, because that's really obvious. I think just being authentic with your content and, just following where where they are, where the conversation is. Like it really is a full-time job. Like you have to, because things change in a minute. So I think the best thing you can do is know what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, be on the platforms, be actively using them, because then you'll see when things are changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll get a kind of understanding. Like, I feel like now I'm at a point where I'll see a piece of content and I'll know exactly how everyone's reacting in the comments.
Oh, wow. That's
So
great.
It's, yeah, you get that kind of feel for what's okay and what's not.
And the subtle differences between wording or between like approaches to thing. And Gen Z are so on it. They're so on it, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I love Gen Z.
I think they're unforgiving though.
No.
That's the scary thing about
Yeah.
Gen Z.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, so just don't stuff up.
Yeah, just be perfect.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Be
You'll fine.
perfect.
Just
Be perfect.
Yeah, just be perfect and you'll be great for
You'll
Gen
be fine,
Z.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I had a great chat today. Learned a lot about Gen Z, millennials, what's chuggy, what's not chuggy. So really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you guys in the office and on social media.
Yes.
Yes, we'll be there.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.